Hey, what's up, metal and heavy music fans? It's Flight of Icarus again with MetalTrenches.com, and it's that time again for me to check out your latest underground metal requests from Bandcamp. And hey, if you like to be kept up to date with the best and brightest metal bands and albums from the underground and above, then stick with me by hitting that subscribe button down below. Alright, y'all, let's kick things off with DARKENHÖLD with Arcanes and Sotilages. This is a Ladlow Productions band. They're always great label for like atmospheric and melodic black metal. And yeah, I really like this band's sound. Great artwork too. It's that perfect like early second wave with the more kind of atmospheric vibes of like early Satyricon, even a little Emperor, and also some like Tolkien. A little bit of dissection here and there too with some of the guitars, but just big massive production, but still with an edge to it too. Like I think this strikes that perfect balance of still being like raw, still sounding like classic second wave. Those folky guitars, gotta love that. Yeah, excellent. Some interludes. More rockin' stuff. There's some organ on this one, like that. Yeah, really good stuff there. Yeah, this is great. This is great. If you're just looking for some really solid black metal all around, like great production. Ooh. Drums sound huge too. Yeah, drumming's really good. Production's excellent. Guitar riffs are really catchy in a way. Yeah, I'm gonna have to spend more time with this. Just €7 for digital as well. And yeah, you're really getting your money's worth with this one. So yeah, excellent. DARKENHÖLD with Arcanes and Sotilages. Alright, next up we've got Abyssal Frost with Antarsia. It's black and death metal. Like that, really more aggressive. Definitely getting that kind of black metal atmosphere, but also those death metal elements as well. That blast beat is vicious. This album art too. I'm from this to the track names. I'm picking up on like conceptual vibes. There was this great mini series called The Terror. I think it was on Hulu. You get a chance to watch it, check it out. It's really well acted, and it's based on the true story of these ships that like ran adrift and got stuck in the ice on a trade route, and they were never like the ships were found, some of the bodies were found, but they never figured out exactly kind of what went down. A lot of them starved, so I'm wondering if there's a connection there. This is great though. Those drums. This is awesome. Just kicking you in the face. Those blackened tremolos, kind of blackened vocals too, but also some deeper death metal ones too. We got these more death metal guitars and double bass too. The vocals remind me a little bit of like the Black Dahlia Murder and how they switch from the highs to lows, but more technical, more brutal. They call themselves brutal blackened death metal. It's probably the perfect moniker for them. Yeah, they were nice enough too to service me with a download. Hell yeah, a little solo here too. So I need to download this and actually spend more time with it. But yeah, this is one of those underground gems. This is why I do this, and I really appreciate when bands reach out to me and give me those download codes, especially. Ooh, heck yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna have to spend a lot more time with this, but just to keep things moving again, that is Abyssal Frost with Antarsia. Sick stuff. Alright, then we've got Bas Rotten. This is a German band of lower class kids records. The album's called Surge. At the time of recording, it's not fully released yet, but by the time you're watching this, the whole album should be out. Heck yeah, just sick D-beats. Kind of blackened vocals almost too though. Really aggressive. Thrashy riffs too. Lots of thrash influence here. Crossover. Kind of like a cross section between like, I'd say, like Power Trip and like Young and in the Way. stuff like that. Bastard Feast. Just like really metallicized hardcore. Nice little bass rumble here too. Ooh, little melodic riffs too. Yeah, nice transition there. That's pure thrash metal right there. Man, this is great. I didn't have the highest expectations for this, honestly, but man, blowing me away here. Just €5 for like 17 tracks too. Probably blow by fast too, I imagine, because it seems like all the tracks are around like the 1 minute, just over the 1 minute mark. Heck yeah, we got Thrive. Yeah, these guitars and drums are great. Just high energy stuff. This is where my brain's at most of the time these days. Like stuff that energizes me. Stuff that I feel like I could run like 20 miles on pure adrenaline listening to stuff like this. Nice blast beat there. A little kind of blackened tremolo too. Ooh, grimy bass part there also. Nice transition to this slower head bobbing part. Yeah, good. Keeping the engagement too. Some pretty steady, subtle dynamics going on here as well. Yeah, excellent stuff. Got to keep moving, but yeah, that is Bas Rotten with Surge. Don't sleep on these guys because I think they've got something here. I'm gonna have to check out the full album when it drops. All right, next up we've got Machines on Blast with Black Market Happiness. It's a Florida project. This little kind of classic industrial-looking logo there. Looks like late 90s, early 2000s album art as well. Yeah, they're kind of like a sort of industrial rock, industrial metal band. Something I would fit in with like could see them touring with like Marilyn Manson. Vocals remind me a little bit of like Fear Factory at times, but they don't have that like thrash elements to their sound. It's much more kind of rock and roll, more straightforward. But it's honestly, like, it's catchy, and it's got enough of, like, kind of that radio vibe to it that I could honestly imagine hearing this on the airwaves. So if we had, like, a second resurgence, nice piano here, of, like, bands like Nine Inch Nails, Marilyn Manson. You know, you've got bands like Three Teeth, too, like, playing much bigger shows now, too, and getting bigger. I feel like if these guys could get on the ticket with bands like that, they do quite well. A little power metal in the vocals. I think this clean singing could use a little bit of work. That's definitely a critique there, but everything else sounds great. You got a lot of good stuff to build off of here. A little bit of ambience too. The heavier part here. This almost sounds like a Dimmu Borgir intro. Good stuff. Those little ravey kind of synths too. Yeah, good stuff. So what treads that line enough that I think that this could have some mainstream appeal in addition to just being pretty heavy too. So yeah, I approve. Good work. Keep working at it, and with the right marketing, I think this could go somewhere. Machines on Blast with Black Market Happiness. All right, really excited to share this one. This is Aviations with Retrospect. It's just a little EP, and I only have access to one track right now, but I loved what I heard so much from this Boston band that I just was like, I have to share this. Definitely something that I could see like the Periphery crowd eating up, but also people who like solo work from like the dude from Born of Osiris, Mendel from Aborted. If you like that like progressive, very guitar-focused stuff. Great riffs on here. A little bit of Animals as Leaders, too. Also people who like textures. But yeah, it's like gent, but then just very progressive and mostly clean singing, which sometimes doesn't do it for me, but as you can hear, like, the singing's really good. It's well produced. It sounds amazing, like the piano, too. And so again, like, just stunning stuff. Both of the main tracks on here, and then you get like acoustic and instrumental versions. But I was so impressed that I was like, I need to make sure people hear this, and I'm definitely I followed them because Aviations I feel like is a name that would be easy for me to forget, but I am looking forward to hearing some more like full length stuff from them just based on what I'm hearing here, because it's really impressive. Like, they blew me away just pressing play on these 2 tracks, and the orchestration, the dynamics, the way it all comes together, the production, the riffs. Listen to that groove. Like, just want to dance. But yeah, great stuff. Don't sleep on these guys, and keep them in your back pocket, because I think they have potential. If they can like get on a touring ticket with Periphery or another band like that, they will go far for sure. Aviations, Retrospect. All right, then we got Windchimes with Enervation. It's a Pennsylvania deathcore band. But man, like, I did a reaction video to this track, and another one where I was really blown away. It defied my expectations, because I'm kind of tired of just the old blueprint deathcore sound. If I really want that, I'll go back and listen to those great early Suicide Silence and Whitechapel records. But for newer bands, I like them to do something new. And Windchimes is just bringing like the atmosphere. Like, they've got this long, brooding intro with this almost like Lynchian atmosphere to it. Very haunting and kind of soothing in a strange way. Very beautiful. And then those like blackened vocals kick in. And then pure madness, the blast beats, like this cover too. And the app, you can hear those synths too, just like if you like Shadow of Intent too, because these guys are like almost symphonic. They're not as bombastic, they're a little bit more subtle and laid back. But I could see there being some crossover fans there. And then they've got the more aggressive riffs too. Those guttural vocals too. So they got a kind of a mix of everything, because they have the heavier kind of classic foundations of deathcore on here for sure. But then there's also just the again more kind of ambient stuff happening too. And I dig it. It's just something, it has a freshness to it that I really appreciate, and I'm always craving more of. And those riffs too. A little bit of gent in there too. Could draw some comparisons to like Cabal. But yeah, this is right up there with some of the more impressive deathcore releases I've heard this year. You should check out my favorite deathcore album list that I put up. Like, especially stuff like Barbarossa, Within the Ruins. Like, these are bands that I feel like are really bringing it right now. And I'll be watching Windchimes. And I want to spend more time with this album too. It's only $6 for digital, so really no reason to not pick it up. But yeah, check out Enervation. Alright, then we got Czernina with Hymns of Pestilence. Another black metal band here. Move past the opening here. I like this album art. Just sort of classic looking. And they're more on the thrashy side. Like, hear those, man, just raw too. Like, I say that this band seems to have just as many kind of like first wave black metal influences as second wave, because with the clear thrash guitars, reminds me a lot more of like listening to Venom, that kind of early stuff, early Bathory too. Yeah, great black metal vocals, and I love black and thrash. Like, that's kind of my favorite realm of black metal, and super fast with the thrash influences. That's why Absu is one of my all-time favorites. Yeah, solid riffs here, and a good example of how to do this style of production correctly. Like, sometimes people ape this raw production style, and it sounds like crap, but there is a way to do it. And these guys have gotten it. Like, the guitars sound great, the vocals have that nice reverb on them, the drums could be a little bit, maybe just a touch louder, like one notch, but other than that, they sound really good. Everything sounds great here. Nice part there, yeah. This is really good. More really good stuff. Really good shoe. Nice little chuggy part here. Yeah, if you want some very early era, again, like Venom, Celtic Frost, Bathory, that kind of stuff, mixed in with like Mayhem and Dark Throne and all that, this is going to be right up your alley. So, yeah, again, that is Czernina with Hymns of Pestilence. All right, and last but not least, we've got another single from Femur, but love these guys. Got a good back and forth going with them, which helps them stay fresh in my mind. And yeah, if you're into just metallicized mathcore, hardcore, metalcore, a lot of like kind of botch in their sounds. I shared their previous single on another episode, The Shakes, and I've also done a written review of Red Marks if you want to see their full length. Their last full length is Red Marks. But just great riffs. I love that. Just that classic, again, late 90s, early 2000s kind of sound from all these bands, like early Converge. But again, Botch is like the clearest comparison that comes to me. Just like shrieking guitarists too, those little parts. And then this little drum interlude too, I dig this. It kind of reminds me of something that like Dillinger would do. And then this warbly, slidey guitar parts. You got a lot of atmosphere to their sound in addition to having really great hooks. It's a good balance, and that's what kind of keeps me coming back to them, is that I can really bang my head to the hooks, but also really get sucked in by the intensity of the vibes. And yeah, I think that's what's going to round it out for today. So again, that is Femur with Brian Wells. Definitely check them out if somehow you still haven't. Like, this is my at least third time, maybe more, recommending them. All right, y'all, I think that's plenty for today. Plenty bands for you to go out and check out their albums. And as always, let me know down in the comments which ones you enjoyed the most, which ones you ended up wanting to go out and check out more as a result of this video, and which ones did you end up buying. I really love having that conversation. And be sure to share and hit that like button on the video. Again, hit the like button, let the video play, that watch time, all that engagement stuff is really important in kind of boosting me up in the algorithm, and that exposes more people to these bands. And that's the goal of these episodes in particular, is to get these bands and these albums that just so solely, they're so talented and they deserve all the attention they can get. And so the more eyes and ears I can get on them, the better, and you're instrumental in helping me do that. But stick around. I've got plenty more videos coming right up. As always, I will leave the link in the comments of this playlist for this particular series. But if you're new here, I've also got full album reviews, tier lists, interviews with bands on the podcast. So plenty of reasons to subscribe if you've not already. In the description, you can find links to our social media where you can follow us, the email newsletter I send out personally every Friday, metaltrenches.com for even more reviews and content, and our Patreon and Subscribestar. If you want to take that extra step to becoming a full-on supporter, even just $1 a month gets you early access to content and helps me keep this train a-rolling. But that'll do it for now. Flight of Icarus signing off. I'll see you in the trenches.